Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the week of April 29th through May 5th, 2024. So, as we begin, I'd like to first of all thank everyone who is returning to this weekly series, and to also welcome anyone who might be new to our Angelic Wisdom community. Just a few things before we begin. First of all, make sure that you have subscribed, select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave your comments. If you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. If you'd like to make a donation to support my channel, you can use my PayPal me link, which you will also find in the description area below this video. Let's see. So I will be working on the general monthly angel reading for May. I thank you all for your patience in this past month doing the whole roommate search. By the time you get it, I will have made a decision. But hopefully, I will ask for your prayers that the right person inhabits the space, because it allows me to really have a peaceful enough environment so I can do the work I do. And let's see, also I'm going to also try to get the 12 zodiac readings done as well for this month. So probably a little bit after the 5th they will come out. And I feel like I need a vacation. I'm just going to be honest with you. But thank God we're all here. This is the energies in this month were definitely intense. And, there's a lot of things for us to release. They're just writing that word release in front of me. And there was a lot for us to release because there's so much empowerment that is replacing those energies, those old energies. So, be patient, be compassionate with yourself during this time, as we've all been experiencing. A lot of people are experiencing a lot of things, but just be really compassionate. And just remember, very importantly, that no matter what is going on, the energy, the extraordinary, miraculous love that is the light of your inner divine temple is sending forth an extraordinary love that is flowing through each and every circumstance that you're going through. And they just really want us to just focus on releasing our fears and our ego around what's occurring. That's to say, the ego sort of creates a picture, an interpretation, a reaction. And we're so used to it. And it's like, you feel kind of beat up. But this is coming from within This is not really coming towards you from the external world. I just said to somebody, the enemy is really within. You're really just fighting with yourself. You're fighting with your own projections. You're fighting with the illusions, your interpretations. You're fighting with your own fears. And however they manifest to you, whether they cause you, anxiety or body discomfort or, unexpected events that just seem like the end of the world. This is all an illusion. But that it happens in this way just reveals to you how firmly your belief system is invested in those interpretations, those reactions, those compulsory sort of occurrences. And as hard as it is to confront them with your love, your unconditional love, right now, everything that bothers you in the world needs your unconditional love. Not only in the world, but in your world, most importantly. Because the healing starts at home, and I don't mean to say that and make it sound like a judgment, like, like as in clean your own stuff before you go out and try to, that's not how it's meant. It's meant to, as a sense of empowerment, that the power that you might be afraid of, or the power that you desire, this power of love, creates worlds, and is the only power that can, I'll go ahead and say this word, destroy worlds, meaning clearing them, purifying them. And so we often see things as a destruction or chaos, but what it really is purification, clarification, revelation, and healing, restoration of harmony, balance, and peace, oneness. I just want to go ahead and have us take a deep breath and tune in for a moment to the energies of this week for April 29th, which is the end of the month and the beginning of a new month, through May 5th, 2024. And the angels are showing me a lamp. And so that's usually my symbol for spiritual enlightenment, one who is spiritually bright or enlightened. It also gives me a sense of that no matter how challenging the shifts and the changes are in your life right now, that you have access to this transcendent wisdom and intelligence. It says that you know deep down what your choices are, what your power is, and what power you must utilize in the face of all of this. To love is not a weakness. You have to start understanding that to love is respect. to love is power, it's influence. But love really doesn't care about it in the way that we're thinking or where we're hearing that. It's about standing with all that you have, believing that your choice, your action of love, or any action of love, is the only appropriate response to fear. Today, which is like technically April 26th, I'm talking to you right now, um, it was a lot of weird things. It was the day after the retrograde, and um, I think this Mercury retrograde was the most intense one because of all the other energies, the Uranus Jupiter conjunction, the solar eclipse. There's just so many healing offerings from the universe this month. And I had a little disagreement with my neighbor. Um, my roommate was having trouble sleeping. There was some noise coming from the apartment, long story short, right? So I just, wrote a very nice text, asking him if he could reduce the noise because of last 4 nights. And he just exploded in his text. And then I decided, let me call. I said, I want to call you later because I don't want there to be a misunderstanding. You really shouldn't discuss things in text, like to go deeper. But anyway, I got on the phone and he was just really outraged. And I knew it had nothing to do with me. I had not given him any reason to feel, and I was even trying to express it to him. And the thing is that in general, you want to get, at first I was reading the text, it made me upset, to say the least. When I got on the phone with him and just listened to everything he's saying, and just tried to be compassionate, instead of said it didn't end well still, but I just reiterated to him as many times as he needed to hear it that I respect him and that I love him. I said, I know it's going to sound strange, but that's what I was feeling. And they're writing, it helps. And it's not has nothing to do with my love, but sometimes people just need to hear it. As they're right in front of me now, because sometimes people need to feel safe. And so remember, when people are reacting, it's not about you. And to give love costs us nothing. We've allowed fear to sort of interfere with our understanding of love, and many of us are afraid of being vulnerable in the face of someone who is not being kind, or what we perceive as being not being respectful. And so we don't want to give them our love because we don't want to be taken advantage of. This is not unconditional love. And as long as we hold that belief, the power of love will never fully work or seem to work for us. Because if your mind is checking, is sort of keeping score, then your mind is keeping score and overriding your heart and diminishing the power of love. And we've done that through all of our different kinds of actions when we choose to react with fear rather than love. And then I just had another interesting conversation talking about miscommunication. I don't know where this is going, and I guess they're talking about perception. They just wrote the word perception. Like, I don't know what's going to here. They're going to tell me. So this is another thing, perception, wherein one of the roommates that I had already interviewed was not getting all their stuff in that was required. And it's something that, you know, there's an element that I am also, I was afraid of. Um, it's very difficult, you know, living with the different people. Um, not it's not difficult in the sense that I enjoy it, but it's difficult in the sense of, and here I'm talking about the very thing. You're worried about this keeping score. Do people respect you? And as a Black person, I often have that fear, um, and seen people, treat me a certain way, um, and so that's my thing, right? I have to deal with, um, and so, however, this person, I thought, because they wanted to have, I thought it was about a guest situation, that they were not getting this final piece of information into me. Um, but based on one of the rules that we have as roommates, we had discussed it and everything. But what it really was about was something completely different. The person, um, had a job situation. They lost their job, and they were just afraid to how to deal with this. And so the thing is, we had this, ended up having a really amazing discussion, spiritual discussion. And he's a very young person, and there's a whole different dynamics, of course, because I'm older now and people are younger because I live in a college area. So there's all these things, and that I have concerns about because I've dealt with it over time. But what was so amazing after that other discussion was I had just pulled a card, um, because I got sick in my stomach, from stuff that was, I could feel something brewing. I didn't know what it was about when I woke up. And I pulled this card from a mythic oracle, and it was the Thanatos, the who represents death. And the guidebook's message was so important. It was about something I need to, transformation, something I need to release, heal. And in talking to this person, when they were telling me about this, I saw the connection. It was like, I was like, well, what is it that I need to? And so for both of us, it's disappointment. And I know I've had a lot of disappointments in my life, with career wise, with my music, the school I went through, and it can pile up. And the message in the card was really that it's time to let that go, so that this new energy, could come. And so that the thing that we go through, and as I was explaining to him about this energy, I didn't know what it was, the thing I needed to let go of. And when he was talking about his reading he had had with somebody, and the Five of Cups came up, and we saw that energy of disappointment, and we answered each other's questions, on our hearts, basically. And we had a very loving, open-hearted conversation. And then, of course, my body felt healed and whole as well as his body did. And so it's we're in this place where what we have to do is really love ourselves. And loving ourselves also means loving everyone else. I'm not saying that you have to let people walk all over you, but if you release that accounting of that, and just focus on love, then what you're putting out in the world is what is going to really change your world. That you can confront whatever your fears are, because it's the enemy within. I hate to put it that way, but just for clarification, you're just fighting with yourself. Now, I could say, as a Black person, I have reason for these fears, and a white person could say the same thing, and everybody else could say the same thing. about whatever it is that's your thing. You could say, because I don't know, some people, we all have our things, all of our fears, you know, that make us believe that we're small. And releasing disappointment can, all these things, releasing something can also feel like a huge challenge. But the act of love is not a challenge. If we do not allow fear to interfere or enter into the equation of our reasoning about when and how to use it. Because if that occurs, then we're just manipulating, and then we're really not exercising love at all, but a facade of it, the ego, an illusion. Because, yeah, love can show up as an illusion, can be the ego, or as the old folks used to say, the devil can quote scriptures. So the ego can sort of portray love, but it's not, because fear is involved, because you're calculating, you're keeping score. What I'm saying to you, and I'll just say it in this way that like my soul feels it in the moment, as I'm no better than you at this, but my soul just says, I don't want to win anymore. I don't want to win. I don't want to win. I just want to love. I just want to utilize this. I want to start creating this. I want to see what happens. Sometimes it's some people are gonna, it has, because it has nothing to do with you. What's coming at you. It's a projection that has been nurtured by our seed thoughts, these beliefs, limiting beliefs. And they're just, eventually the effects are just the result, the various results, wild, insane results of all of that. But that doesn't make them real. It doesn't make, in the sense that it doesn't make it true what they might mean to you. It's only your belief in that moment. And it might hurt, it might feel, it might seem scary, but as you keep exercising that love, and not just love that's projected out as like action, like only going in one direction, but love that is radiating within, from within, that is being exchanged. This, within that love, it has been given to you, offered, directed towards you, as you are directing, as it's directed towards you, it is all you direct it outwardly, but there is no accounting of any of this. What I'm trying to get at is that love, you love because it's what feels right. It's, you love as a new way of believing, so that this becomes what you offer and start receiving. But there's this whole thing around, it's just, I don't know, it seems like it's humanly impossible to talk about love or any concept of giving and receiving without it sounding like a transaction. I guess in light form, there is everything, every opposite or duality or polarity is an illusion, only perfect in the physical world, because it's appropriate for us in terms of our evaluations. But when we want to talk about using the power of love at the level of spirit, we just have to understand that this seemingly giving and receiving are not different, but they are one and the same. They are one in any given moment. Maybe giving and receiving is just not an expectation of either, but it's just a law. One, a truth that we have to accept. And therefore, in every moment, since at the center of your entire being is this power of love as a law, there is nothing that you need to do or worry, or the need to worry about what to do, except be in the essence of love and let it be the instrument you use for every facet of your life, no matter how limiting or how fulfilling. Know that love is pure, potent, and as grand no matter which facet of life you stand within, and that the power of love is far more extraordinary than any of your fears. And that's why every challenge is a gift. Every mistake or error is a gift. Every imperfection is a gift or an opportunity to take that love to the next level. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the Archangel that we will be working with. Oh, this is so cool. Lady Gaia, because you can see the message on the card. It says, your challenges are lessons. You are loved and welcome on earth. This is her most incredible message to all of us. This is why it's so important. The challenges are an act of love because they are the form of love that it represents is healing and purification. Challenges also bring in enlightenment and wisdom to help you to release your debts of karma by beginning, and with love, through the act of love, you create a whole new paradigm. But knowing that you are loved is without a because. There is no because. There's no beginning or ending for love. There's no because. It just is. And because you are, it is. It exists because everything that is in the universe exists. We are the reason for love because it pours towards us. And without us, there would be no need for the love to pour forth. So that's the reason why nothing that happens is not about love. It's either love to help you heal or love to help you thrive. It's all of that. It's love for beauty's sake. It's love for joy's sake. It's love for pleasure's sake. It's love for treasured sake. But you don't have to be anything to get this, blessing. It's the forgetting of this is that what makes us experience fear rather than love. And you need to make peace with who you are and everything that you've been and everything that you're going through. Your report card has never been anything but extraordinary. Your report card does not hold you in contempt. There's no negative reporting because you're here to learn. And it's messy, it's chaotic, it's painful, but that's what you're here to do, to learn. So why would love itself hold it against you? And so who's holding it against you? The enemy within. You're holding those things against you. And that does not mean that you can go around just doing things to hurt people, because that's not love. But knowing that when you hold yourself in shame and guilt, that's not love. That is hurting people. Feeling shame, feeling guilt, holding on to it, having it is natural. Having all kinds of emotions is natural, but holding on to them that holds or separates you or holds you apart from love, that is harmful, not just to you, but to the world. And that, they're writing, takes courage to face. That's what you need to face. My disappointment has not only hurt me, but hurt anyone else that I've not been able to love. And I don't mean it like as in loving them, but I'm talking about what my potential is and what I could show up, how I show up in front of them. If I'm shining like an eclipsed sun, or if I'm not shining at all, they're not getting my potential. They're not getting, I'm not talking about the worldly, I'm talking about the potential of love within me. This is hurting all of us because that energy becomes like a vacuum that drains, sucks out the life, the energy of love and light from everyone around it. When we are accepting and acknowledging that we're love, we are giving life. And Lady Gaia wants you to know, because she's all about your mission here. She called you, your invitation, you're welcome, you're loved. That is her message. You are complete. And the universe is well pleased with you. Any other message is not coming from light, from love. All right, let's take a look. And so we have the Magician card. Now, the last card, I accidentally turned it over because, sometimes you're doing a reading for yourself, because I know what it is. But these cards I did not. And this card was the first card. So again, it's sort of this laying it down. My hands move to like somebody's pulling it. So I just laid them where they wanted to go, and they were again laid in reverse order. So this, for me, as one way of reading reversals, is about the internal process that we need to focus on in this week rather than the external process. So, oh, this is the Fool. I thought it was a magician. I hadn't looked clearly. So we have the Fool energy here at the beginning of the week. And it's interesting that this card is called the Fool, and it's sort of the zero. Um, it's that pure being without blemish, but without fault, meaning nobody's keeping score. The focus is just on the heart. And it's before the perceptions of danger or risks are factored in, when our energy is pure and whole and our belief is fully immersed in its own essence of divine love, that one I've been trying to describe to you all this time. Unconditional. And so this internal process is, it's almost like this is saying we need to start backwards, so to speak. We always worry, and it's interesting. I just want to go ahead and turn this card over. It's the Four of Pentacles, and talking about counting, miserly behavior, right? We tend to, in our old way, the old paradigm, which produces this effect of fear as this illusion of fear as being your foundation, for logic and how you operate. It's about, just sort of having it all planned out, being careful, not, taking risks at all. And this card is extraordinary because it opens up sort of this, you see this blazing sun, which I was also just talking about in that discussion with that person about the sun. We're all like the sun, our love is always shining bright. The clouds are like this illusion that just covers that up from time to time. So when we have a cloudy day, we think we call it a cloudy day. We don't say that we think of it as not being a sunny day. But every day is a sunny day. It's just that we're not getting the full effect of the sun. And so whatever it is that we're holding on to, this is the best demonstration of what I was just trying to say before. When the clouds are there, if we're holding to guilt or shame or whatever it is, or disappointment, we hold on to it. It's okay to have it, but to hold on to it means that we're dimming our own light that gives life to the world. And you got to realize, and Lady Gaia's message is that your light is important. That's why your love is powerful. It is like the sun, it gives life. And without it, the world as we know it will start to die if it does not get sunlight. And this is why we can no longer afford to believe in our fears, to believe that we are unworthy, or to believe that that we don't give value, that we're not important. And so it's a feeling of, can we learn to take risks by being our pure nothingness, no attachments to anything, and just loving and making inspired decisions that are right for you. It is nothing wrong for you to acquire anything in this world that is available or that you want to create, There is nothing wrong with any of this. But to have an attachment to it causes you to put, it's like putting clouds, because if something happens, it alters your it alters your awareness of who you are, that you're still a bright sun. But you, instead of identifying with the sun, you identify with the clouds. And if you can have anything and be appreciative, knowing that everything in the physical world has a time frame for it to exist within your life, and that as long as you're okay with that, you're willing to let it go, and you're focused on the opportunity, the blessing, the soul fulfillment and meaning that it has, and you're not buying it because of FOMO, because you're going fear of being left out and putting yourself at risk. Because the only time you're going to be at risk is when you are not in your essence of love, and not allowing that essence to be purification and cleansing and clarity, knowing that when the time for something to leave, then you embrace it, and you thank it for everything that you had, that you gained while it was in your life. So you want it to be like a sunny day where the clouds are beautiful and they don't interrupt the sun. They're not gray, they're beautiful white, and but they're just passing by. Never obstructing the light. And that's what all of our things, our jobs and whatever it is that we have, our relationships, death and life, birth and death, we just accept it as these clouds, these beautiful white clouds that move by. Some are challenges, some are blessings, but they're all pure white and all sort of an opportunity for purification, clarification, healing, etc. Let's look at this Four of Pentacles came up in the reading. It's the last week, because I haven't done any of the writings for this week yet. So here we have the Seven of Cups, and this looks like this card has come up too. It looks like a sort of a lunar eclipse, maybe really representing the new moon, but it reminded me of that when I saw it. And I don't know if you can see the bands of energy moving through the sort of the chakra, 7 chakra bands moving through. And you can see like energy whirling around this. So this is what's been happening is that this is the card that I really got a clear message about what was going on with these new energies coming through. And these bands of healing are moving through, but they're creating a little bit of a sort of a, like you see this like whirling air, right? And so it's like the air clears. So you're experiencing a huge clearing at this time. And it's interesting that this card is in between this very sort of miserly holding on to things, and this I'm totally detached from everything. Here totally unattached and totally detached, love, fear, and this energy in between. And this can feel like a very confusing time. And like you don't know where you want to be and what you want to do or who you are. And you're grasping for straws, or there's so many new dreams emerging, you don't know where to pick. But the thing is, this is a good place to be, because it's saying you're watching the transformation in your beliefs. You're seeing the portals open up for you, meaning of opportunities that are coming to you, and that that weren't there before. You're seeing the world in a different way, and this is leading you somewhere. You're being called and summoned, and right now you're being asked to really trust and have faith. in all of this, because this is the major arcana card. So this is the energy we really want to focus in terms of all of this that's been said here. All right, let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck, and it's the Queen of Pentacles. So I always think of the Queen of Pentacles as more like the Empress with that Lady Gaia energy, more than anything. And so, but with the Pentacles comes this sense of abundance, a sense of connection with the earth and the world and the universe and all of its different facets of natural order. And being in tune with the Queen, you're in tune with this. And right now, I feel like this is asking you to really get in tune with your body, get in tune with your reality, the earth, be aware of what's happening on the ground, so to speak, at the grassroots level. Paying attention to the opportunities, the shifts that are happening at these levels. And really allowing yourself to be moved or motivated by them. Your heart might just really connect. So you're talking about the Seven of Cups here, and it's probably related where your heart will figure out what's calling it by really sort of grounding yourself, being present in the world with your higher awareness of where your attention or your heartstring has been pulled towards a certain thing or not. But it also gives us a sense of nurturing, expansion. And so with time, as you nurture this through the paradigm of love, so many things will become clear to you about who you really are, what your gifts, where you're strong in your gifts, and in what ways, and what areas, and with what group of people. This will all become clearer to you through this powerful exercise or practice, rather, of standing in your power, standing in the power of love, and believing in it with your whole heart. This neutrality where it's not about keeping an account, but it's just about being. So much I want to keep talking, but the time is definitely wouldn't allow it. But I also get a sense that I think you understand on so many levels, and it's also a good opportunity to let you sit with this and let your heart speak to you. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. God bless you.